What's the worst thing your sibling has ever done to you? For me, it was the day my brother Jake decided my wedding day was the perfect time to speak his truth. I still remember standing there in my dress, surrounded by everyone I loved, when Jake grabbed the microphone during the reception. "I've got something important to say about the bride," he announced, swaying slightly. I knew immediately he was drunk. My husband Matt squeezed my hand under the table. I should have seen it coming. Jake had been acting weird for weeks, avoiding family dinners and giving me these long, uncomfortable stares whenever we were in the same room. Mom said he was just processing emotions about his little sister growing up. I believed her because I wanted to. "Sarah's not who you all think she is," Jake continued, his words slightly slurred. "Did she tell any of you about the summer before college? About David?" My blood went cold. David was Jake's best friend from high school. We'd had a brief thing that summer, nothing serious, just a few kisses at a bonfire when Jake wasn't around. But Jake had this weird possessiveness over his friends. When he found out, he didn't speak to me for weeks. "Jake, that's enough!" Matt stood up, but I pulled him back down. "Let him finish," I whispered. "He'll only make it worse if someone tries to stop him." Jake's face was flushed as he continued. "She knew I was in love with Melissa. Everyone knew. But Sarah didn't care." He pointed at me accusingly. "Tell them what you did. Melissa, my college roommate, she'd visited our family home during spring break sophomore year. Jake had developed an instant crush on her, following her around like a puppy. It was embarrassing to watch. What Jake didn't know, what nobody knew, was that Melissa had confided in me that she was gay. She wasn't ready to come out publicly yet, especially around strangers. I didn't do anything, Jake," I said quietly, but he was too far gone. "You told her lies about me. You convinced her I wasn't good enough," his voice cracked. "And then you made sure David dumped me as a friend too." Whispers rippled through the reception hall. My grandmother looked confused. Matt's family exchanged glances. My best friend Rachel was already moving toward Jake, ready to intervene. "Jake, David stopped hanging out with you because you punched him when you found out we kissed," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "And Melissa was never interested in you, not because of anything I said." "Liar!" he shouted, the microphone feedback piercing the air. "You've always been jealous of me, always trying to take what's mine." Mom finally reached him, attempting to gently remove the microphone. "Honey, let's go get some water." "No," he jerked away from her. "Everyone needs to know what she did to our family. How she told Dad about your affair before he was ready to hear it." The room went completely silent. Mom froze, her face draining of color. That was the moment I knew I'd never forgive him. Not for the David story, not for the Melissa accusations, but for this. For exposing something so private, so painful that had taken our family years to heal from. Dad had known about Mom's brief affair. I'd never told him. Jake had overheard Mom confessing to me, and in his teenage anger, he'd been the one to tell Dad. He'd blamed me all these years for his own actions. Security escorted him out while he shouted more incoherent accusations. The wedding continued in awkward bursts of forced merriment. That was 3 years ago. Jake's sent dozens of text apologies since then. Last month, he left a voicemail saying he's been sober for a year. Yesterday, Mom called to say he wants to meet. "People make mistakes," she said softly. "I haven't called back yet. Some wounds time doesn't heal."